My name is Matt Hunter. I am the Northeast Regional Manager for the American Wood Council and a registered building code official in Pennsylvania. I currently serve as a governing member on the ICC's Sustainability Membership Council. I am speaking with noted architect Alan Organschi on how architects are using innovation to further advance the cause of sustainability. Alan, what do you see as being the biggest factor in spreading the message of sustainability within the field of architecture?
Matt, I think the biggest challenge we'll face is reevaluating and then clarifying what sustainability in the building sector really needs to look like to guide the action we take as a sector of human activity, that is building, with responsibility for a huge share of environmental impact. For example, our past focus on the operational efficiency of buildings as the primary tool of building sustainability was important for its time, but it allowed us to ignore a lot of other important aspects of the architectural and technical design of buildings. These include the remote impacts on landscapes that we create through the extraction and transport of raw materials, the processing energies we consume, and the emissions we generate within the material product supply chain, the potential toxicity, and also the processing intensiveness of materials we specify, and at the end of that building life cycle, the degree to which our designed assemblies might be carefully dismantled, and the materials and components be directed for reuse in some other building or consumer product instead of into a landfill. And of course, we can't forget to make buildings that are durable and functional with just enough flexibility in their systems and spatial organization to broaden their bandwidth of usefulness so that we can extend the life and, I guess you might say, amortize the debt of all the material and energy we consume to make the building in the first place.
How much impact can the design professional have on sustainability issues in this day and age of stringent budgets and value engineering projects?
We have a lot of agency in promoting best practices in building, practices that are informed by the most current scientific thinking in climate science, material science, forest and ecosystem science, etc. And our ability to educate and inform our clients and users represents a kind of bully pulpit. But I think our buildings are the best medium by which to communicate these critical ideas about sustainability, to provide really good examples of design and building practice, and to be willing to honestly expose and discuss where things didn't work as we had intended and planned. Additionally, as a kind of orchestrator of the built environment's production and operation, architects are responsible for driving an inordinate share of human demand for material and energy. And although we like to think of ourselves as producers and makers, we're in fact consumers, big consumers. And that's actually a powerful position to be in if we hope to shift patterns and behaviors of consumption.
Alan, who would benefit from knowing this information? Is it beneficial to just educate the design professionals, or do we need to bring awareness to general contractors, primes, subcontractors, and building owners?
I think that all of us who are part of the building sector tend to work in silos. We need to conduct our work more as an interdisciplinary community of thinkers who want to reach outside of the disciplinary boundaries we're used to working within and share our knowledge and provide feedback throughout our sector and to our end users. I'm not sure how to build those communication networks, but if we can agree on the general objective, reducing our global and regional environmental footprint, optimizing the systems we use to produce human settlement, working synergistically within ecosystems rather than in conflict and in competition with them, I think we can start to shift the way we approach building to make it truly and literally sustainable. I know that a forest scientist or a city planner or a product manufacturer or a building developer all have information which would help me and everyone along the supply chain to refine and recalibrate our work so as to make it less linear and mechanistic and more responsive to the changing circumstances of the world in which we live. This would be to the benefit of not only everyone's economic bottom lines, but also to the health of the broader environment, built or biological, that is in the end the only home we have.
Where can interested parties find information on building sustainability?
First, I'd recommend that anyone seeking information of any kind bring a critical eye to what they find, not just for the sake of being suspicious, but to try to consider biases that might underpin that information and take that into account to reach a more comprehensive and systemic understanding of the various levers we can potentially pull to achieve meaningful goals in environmental sustainability at a time of dire circumstance. Resources provided by manufacturers' organizations on their members' sustainability efforts are often really helpful, as are, for design professionals, primary sources those manufacturer organizations might provide, like environmental product declarations. Specific questions about a material's carbon footprint or an appliance's energy efficiency or a wall assembly's thermal properties are generally searchable. But the first principles that underlie their design needs to be understood as well. So as with a purchase, the download of information is probably best guided by the principle of caveat emptor, let the buyer beware.
Is there a clearinghouse for information or a one-stop shop for accurate information on sustainability?
There are a lot of competing and contested claims as to the environmental efficacy of products and design strategies. So I just say spread the sources of your information and you'll be better able to rely on your instincts as designers and technicians.
Can you provide some online sources to help our listening audience?
Well, for me, a really good set of sources that address the built environment can be found at the Ellen MacArthur Foundation. That's ellenmacarthurfoundation.org. And the Citra Innovation Fund, citra.fi, from Finland. The Finns are real leaders in circular economic thinking. And of course, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention our own website, Decarbonize Design, decarbonizedesign.com.
Join us tomorrow for the next edition of the Sustainability Membership Council's video series, Voices for Building Safety Month.